Welcome to History Nuts. I'm Russ Carson Jr., the founder of Family Tree Nuts. At Family Tree Nuts, we build family trees for people, and we produce videos at historic locations and videos that help to honor your ancestors.
I'm Jameson Cable, founder of the Kentucky History Podcast, where we talk about anything Kentucky history, events, people. If it has to do with Kentucky, we're going to discuss it.
And we've teamed up together to bring you History Nuts.
History Nuts is a live show where we talk about, you guessed it, history.
Right. History seems to be less and less to people today, but we are trying to do everything we can to keep it alive.
Absolutely. History is a passion of ours for sure, but it connects to you. Russ, tell us about the best part of the show.
You can join in. You can comment and ask questions live.
We've got a great topic today, and we know you're going to enjoy this episode of
History Nuts.
And we are live. We are live. What's up, everybody? This is Colonel Carson with Family Tree Nuts with my good pal,
Jameson Cable, Kentucky History Podcast. How's it going, Russ?
It's just going great, man. You know, it's we finally hit 2 weeks back to back, didn't we?
We did. The summer has been a little wild, but we've got two back to back, so we'll keep the train going.
We got a really good show tonight too. Like, I'm real excited about this one. This one's a little bit different than some things that we talk about. This is about some famous people's kids' story, you know, and it's a historical story, but boy, would this have been all over the tabloids.
Your Facebook feed would be full of this for sure.
Every day, all day. Absolutely a murder. The rich kid, he got off, man.
Man. Well, what? What do you mean? How's that possible?
Yeah, I mean, the rich, powerful got off.
You got to know the right person, right?
You got the right people. Yeah, you got to know the right lawyer, I guess, too, right?
Oh, yeah, you're right. That's right.
Talk about that. And I think at the end of the story, you let the cat out of the bag. You know, we know that he got off of the murder, but he gets what's coming to him a little bit. So we'll hold that for the very end there. But hey, guys, make sure you chime in. I see Vicky says hi from Tennessee. Gail says she's here. Let us know where you're watching from. Give us some comments. Ask questions. If you know something about this story, chime in also. Yeah.
It's always cool to see who all is listening and where you're listening from, because it's good history and good to know people are tuning in. So give us some good comments.
And remember, if you're watching right now, you can watch this anytime. This is live right now. The advantage of watching it live is that you can interact with us, but you can watch it tomorrow, next week, whenever, So it's always 6 months from now. It's on our YouTube. Speaking of that, subscribe to the YouTube channels. We spent 2 minutes with that little ordeal, didn't we? Let's get to the story.
Yeah. So who are we talking about?
Isaac Lafayette Shelby, which is interesting.
That's very interesting. Very good. I wonder, I don't know when he was born right off, but I wonder if he's named after any generals, you think?
Yeah, I'm sure he is. Yeah. Without a shadow of a doubt. Family friend for sure. So Linda says, hello from Washington State. Bob says, hey, from Monroe, Georgia. And Terry from Winchester, Kentucky. So
Winchester, all right.
Yeah, Gail
County, right?
South Lebanon, Warren County, Ohio. Isn't Warren County the playground of Ohio? But that's what their slogan is there. Kings Island is, man.
That's right, Kings Island. Been there many times. But anyway, you said Isaac Lafayette Shelby. Did you say junior or?
No, he's not a junior. But
he's not a junior, is he? But that name sounds so familiar, right?
Yeah, sure does. I think we've talked about a man by a very similar name than that, haven't we?
Yeah. Mr. Or I guess I could say, was he Colonel, Lieutenant? I'm not sure his rank at numerous different times. But Isaac Shelby, the first governor of Kentucky, very important fella. I guess I can give the overview here of him. He actually moved from Virginia. He joined the Revolutionary War. He fought at Kings Mountain. The hero of Kings Mountain.
Absolutely.
We talked about that quite a bit. But anyway, he ends up coming over to Kentucky and basically sets up the government. I mean, he's pretty much given credit for establishing, I guess you could say, governor protocol, the whole system. I mean, when he was the first governor. So if you're the first governor to a new state, guess what you got to do? Create everything. So everything. He was a big player. And then, ironically enough, not only was he the first governor, he was the fifth governor. So he came back into be the governor in 1812 during that battle. And I mean, he was getting in his older age then, but quite a bit. But we got a lot more comments coming in here too. Oh man, they're rolling in. I can't keep up. Greg from Paris Island, South Carolina. Was that correct?
Yeah. Don't you know where that is, man?
No. Is it close to Myrtle Beach?
Yeah. Where they make Marines, man. That's the birthplace.
Oh, cool.
Right there. So I think he's telling a little story there. It's that's where he's at. I don't know if he's there right now. I hope he's not. He better get offline. And get it.
Yeah.
But, we got a few more.
Oh yeah. Let's see. Martha from Burlington, Kentucky, and then Betty says she just tuned in, and it sounds like you are talking about my family shooting and murder from Missouri.
Oh wow!
Well, yeah, that happened.
Yeah.
And Ruth says, "Hi, I'm up very late here in sunny Southport, near Liverpool, England. Been a while since I last watched. Best wishes, Ruth." Man, it probably is a little bit later there. You are up late.
About 2 a.m. Is it really sunny?
Yeah.
Really far up north?
Okay. Yeah. And then my aunt Jen says Level Green, Kentucky.
Level Green.
That's real close.
Yeah.
Greg currently in Louisville, Kentucky. So there we go. But was that a pretty good summary of Isaac Shelby? I know that.
I mean, he's definitely a very successful person, influential person. And when somebody's successful and influential, they usually find ways to have money and success in that too. And then there's another feller in the story there, man by the name of Henry Clay. Who the heck is Henry Clay?
Man, well, he's who Clay County's named after. No, he's not. That's Green Clay, actually, in Kentucky at least. But Henry Clay, man, he's the most known politician from Kentucky ever. So pretty important guy. The great compromiser, right? Not only Kentucky connected, he's connected nationwide. We've talked many times. We talked about Transylvania, his influence on Transylvania. He was, basically during his time in the Senate and his I guess national roles.
Transylvania University, I guess we should say.
Yeah, Transylvania University.
Dracula, we're talking about.
He pretty much made Kentucky very important throughout those times, and since he died, and post Civil War, Kentucky hasn't been as relevant as it was in those days.
Great compromiser. He kept us for many years of going into the Civil War.
Yeah, really, we could probably have about 3 or 4 episodes about him. Honestly, if we wanted to get down deep into his
huge
political career
during a time period that people skip. They go from Revolutionary War straight to little 1812 and then straight to Civil War. But we're just laying the groundwork for a couple of these people, so who they are and things. And if have you ever heard? I forget the exact thing it's called. It's called like the story of thirds, or a story of 3 generations. And basically, what that is like one generation makes the name for themselves, makes the money, makes the empire. The second generation, their children enjoy the empire, and then the third generation becomes sort of corrupt and doesn't know how, and basically loses the wealth. It happens over and over and over and over again. When we do people's family trees, they're surprised to see, holy smokes, I'm related to them. Where the heck's that money at, man? Like trailer, something like that. You can tell me my 3rd great grandfather was a millionaire, but that's what happens. And people think that that's the case because, the second generation got to see their parents, become who they are. And the third generation, they just reap the benefits of it all. I think you was telling me that's what happened in your family over and over.
Well, there definitely ain't no money pouring in, so at some point, I guess so.
Yeah. Vicky says, who is he all kin to? Lots of people related to Nathaniel Hart. I think his grandmother was Susanna Hart, the daughter of Nathaniel Hart, the lead negotiator of Transylvania Company, and they're tied in with Ephraim McDowell. They're tied in with the Boones, kind of thing.
Yeah.
They're tied in with all the Bryan family, Todd family, all those early wealthy Kentucky families. They're all tied in. We can draw lines to about all of them. So, but here he is. He's born, in May 8th, 1819. And
Hey, to be clear, this is Lafayette Shelby. Isaac Lafayette Shelby was born.
Yeah.
8 May, yeah.
Yeah, appreciate that. We jumped right into him, didn't we?
Yeah.
So, we were just laying the groundwork for these characters that are going to be important down the road. So, he was born in Lincoln County. You ever heard of Lincoln County? So,
yeah, where I'm at.
Yeah, because, his family is, had their, what's the name of their?
Traveler's Rest. Is that what you're referring to? That's where Isaac Shelby's buried, his homestead. All that stuff. So and there's quite a few. Like one of his sons has a place around here. I think that's still up. I can't think of which one it is right off, but yeah, I mean Isaac Shelby's pretty big in Lincoln County too because this is where he first settled. So
absolutely, yeah, man. Nellie N. Willie in Montgomery. Brenda Combs. I know Brenda Combs in Menifee County, right next to Menifee County. It's my wife's aunt. I don't know if that's the same person you're talking about or not, but. So, born down there in 1819, his father was General James Shelby. So, no doubt that they named young Isaac Lafayette Shelby after two very, very famous people. They probably had, I think about that because they probably had a tremendous amount of, they really thought he was going to be something. They gave him really strong
pride. I mean, I guess, pride. I guess it was that's the best I got, but yeah.
After his grandfather, after, General Lafayette kind of thing, but he doesn't become that. He becomes kind of a bum, kind of a playboy, kind of a drunk.
Yeah, definitely taking that, the three generations and kind of making a name of himself, a bit of a loafer, not really following, I guess getting the work done, if you want to say that, taking advantage of the family's wealth, I guess.
Absolutely. And he hangs around Lexington, hangs around the taverns. He stays in the hotels there. And he was actually estranged from his family for a couple of 3 years before this big event happened here. I think this happened in 1846, and that would make him, 27 years old. He's getting into his mid-20s. Sure, they had big plans for him, and he decided he wasn't going to do them. That happens to a lot of famous people's children, I guess, right?
Yeah, well, yeah, definitely, and especially, I mean, I guess you could say that, with the third generation, in a way, they kind of lose that ambition, if they've already had all that, what's there to work for? If he's got all this, I guess, money backing him up, and I guess that makes a little bit more sense of kind of the thought process of the third generation. That ambition's gone. So what are they? Let's hang around and get drunk, I guess. And that goes happens. He's at the Phoenix Hotel a bunch.
Well, yeah, and it's you could even say that about the generations, young adults of today. You have the greatest generation, and then their parents enjoyed it, and then anyway, that's what we're getting political area kind of thing. But steer off of that for sure. But he's at the Phoenix Hotel. You know about the Phoenix Hotel?
A pretty big hotel in Old Lexington for
I think
many years.
Originally, I think about the year 1800, they had a tavern there, and inn grew around it, became the Phoenix Hotel. I think in the 1820s, and they just tore the thing down in the 1980s. So
what's his name? Oh, I can't believe I'm forgetting it. He dueled with Hamilton. What was his name?
Aaron Burr.
Burr. I wanted to say Barr, but Burr. Yeah. He was there. A bunch of Kentucky governors stayed there.
Aaron Burr, not Andy Barr.
yeah. That's right. But yeah, he stayed there. That whole big ordeal, which that's a whole nother thing again, but also involved Henry Clay. But anyway, off topic. But go ahead.
Yeah. So at the Phoenix Hotel, he's hanging out. Lafayette Shelby is sitting at the bar, drinking quite a bit. Fella by the name of had a brain lapse there, Hinton, came in there and sat on the other side. What do you say?
What?
Montgomery's like all.
Oh, Montgomery's all. Montgomery's all like bad pennies. Never know where they will show up.
Okay. All right. Yeah. But Mr. Horeen comes in the bar. He sits across the bar from Lafayette Shelby. He stares him right in the face. Mean mugs him, as they might say. And Lafayette says, "Why are you looking at me, man?" I'm paraphrasing here because that's not the way they would have spoken in 1849.
What's your beef? You say, "What's your beef, man?"
What's your problem, pal? And so they're eyeballing each other. And Shelby said, "I feel insulted that you're looking at me." And Horeen says, it's my right to look anybody in the face, any man in the face, and I'll do it whenever I please. You see, this is getting kind of heated.
Yep.
People said they've been doing quite a bit of drinking, and that's usually how every daggone story starts, stuff like this. Isaac Shelby says, "I'll take this tumbler and I'll bash your skull in with it,
No, real quickly, what is a tumbler?
Well, seriously?
Yeah,
your whiskey glass, a beer tumbler.
Okay. All right. I got you. Yeah.
Oh, yeah, I forgot. You don't know anything about alcohol or any of that kind of stuff. So, teetotaler, I think, is what Jordan had said earlier. So, me too, absolutely.
Very true.
Yeah, so he said, "I'll take this tumbler and bash your skull in with it." But when he does it, he takes his left hand and slaps Horeen right in the face.
There you go.
Falls back, and he had a cloak on. And
okay, keep going.
Yeah. Well, he had more than the cloak on, man.
Well, yeah.
But anyway, the story goes from there is many people, including Shelby, thought he was reaching inside to grab a weapon. Well, the story says, I think it says exactly that Shelby reached in his pantaloons, and his pantaloon pocket. It was the actual court document said, but you know what pantaloons are?
Yes.
Yeah. So reached in his pantaloon pocket, pulled out his pistol, and shot him right in the head.
Wow.
Killed Horeen instantly.
Wow, that's pretty crazy.
And as horrific as that sounds, I mean, here's two guys just having a drink or several at the bar, and if you know that the time period there, Cassius Clay, Henry Clay, Andy Jackson, these guys were fighting. You know what I'm saying? These guys, Kentucky was known to be kind of backcountry, and they had that nostalgia thing. So, yeah. So a lot of guys got off for just behaving like a Kentuckian. That's what Cassius Clay got off for one time, because he was behaving like a Kentuckian when he beat this guy to pieces with his cane. But that's another story there. But it's a rough time, men were men back then, and, got kind of rough. So he was arrested, and
what y'all say, as crazy as it sounds, today that he shot him so quickly, and we'll get into the case and stuff like that. But he was thinking this guy had a cape or whatever, and he was thinking he was about to get attacked. And and in some situations that if he waited or he hesitated, he very well could have been shot as well. But obviously that wasn't the case. But we'll keep going. Go ahead.
Yeah, it's hard. It's hard to say when you're in that situation and stuff. But there's a lot of points throughout this story where different decisions could have been made for the result to be quite a bit different. And that's why I tell my son, my son's a senior now, and I tell him, hey, bud, every time that I ever got in trouble, if I'd have thought about it for 2 seconds, I would have never did what I did to get in trouble. So they would have just thought about it for 1 second. Why are you mean mugging them? Why are you got to talk back? Why are you going to smack him in the head? Why do you have to smack him across the face? But moving into the trial here. But before we do that, the meat and potatoes of the story here. Let's break for a very quick commercial, and we'll see you on the other side.
All righty. Horace Holly was born February 13, 1781, to Luther and Sarah Dankin Holly. In his youth, Holly was encouraged and influenced by his parents to pursue knowledge. His parents, seeing his natural intelligence, provided him with an education at Williamstown Academy in Massachusetts and at Yale College. His father was a Calvinist and his mother was Baptist, but neither parent pushed a certain denomination during his youth. Holly studied divinity under Timothy Dwight, which gave him his Orthodox Calvinist views. He was married in 1805 to Mary Austin, and they had 2 children. He became pastor of the Congregational Church in Greenfield, in Connecticut. His views became more liberal. He became a Unitarian, and at the Hollis Street Church, his leadership doubled his congregation to the point they had to build a larger church. He was also a member of the Boston School Committee and the Harvard Board of Overseers. Throughout these years, he was gaining more and more notoriety. Holly's career made its connection to Kentucky in 1815, when he was offered to become the president of Transylvania University, but he declined. The board persisted, and in 1818 he visited Lexington. During his visit, he was persuaded by Henry Clay to take the position as president. His goal was to make Transylvania a leading Western university. During his time as president, the school expanded. He was able to attract some of the finest teachers in liberal arts, law, and medicinal. Those teachers included naturalist Constantine Rafinesque, surgeon Daniel Drake, Benjamin Caldwell, and William Short, and 2 lawyers, Jesse Bledsoe and William T. Baird. The medical school became a top school in the country, on par with Harvard and Pennsylvania. Working with legislatures, Holly was able to purchase a medical library from Europe and scientific equipment. Students from the South and the West chose to attend Transylvania over schools in the East. In 1825, Marquis de Lafayette went on a tour of Kentucky, and when he came to Lexington, he was greeted by Holly. Holly's dream was fulfilled, and during his tenure from 1818 to 1825, the school grew and expanded. However, it came to an end. Many factors forced Holly out of the school. The school had been run primarily by Presbyterians, and with Holly's unorthodox religious views, the pressure from Presbyterians continued to increase. Most importantly, Joseph Deshay, the current governor, did not approve of Horace Holly, mainly because Deshay was a Jacksonian, and he had a disdain for Henry Clay, who was a big supporter of the school and Holly. Deshay convinced the Kentucky legislature to stop funding the school. Holly, seeing that he could no longer run the school in such a situation, resigned in 1825. After his resignation, he left Lexington and moved to New Orleans to begin new education projects. In the summer of 1827, he was traveling back to Boston to escape the Louisiana heat. He contracted yellow fever and died on July 31st. He was buried at sea near Dry Tortugas. I hope you enjoyed learning about Horace Holly. Even though his time in Kentucky was brief, his actions set up one of Kentucky's most known institutions. He was a man known for his intelligence and a man who fought to provide others with the means to grow their own intelligence. Don't forget to try out audibletrial.com/KYHistoryPod to get a free book of your choosing. Like, subscribe, and share this video in the Kentucky History channel for more Kentucky history content. If you feel like it, check out our Patreon page at patreon.com/KYHistoryPod and find us on Twitter and Facebook at KYHistoryPod. And don't forget to check out the Land Between the Meadows Kentucky History Podcast for more in-depth history of Kentucky. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.
Hey, what a cool story that is, isn't it?
Yeah, pretty cool, pretty cool. I got a connection to Henry Clay as well, but yeah. And we talked a bit more about last week about Transylvania too, so you can go back and watch that episode as well. But go ahead, let's get into the story. Let's finish.
Make sure you check out the YouTube channel where all those stories like that are. You guys got tons of them over there for sure. Kathy says she's a Frankfort native living in North Texas, a mean green in North Texas there. And Whispers of the Dark says they're watching in Texas too, and thanks for all we do. And there's another one there.
Mary Oh, well, we got another pop to Mary. I'm originally from Lexington, now live in the southwest state of Arkansas, about 30 miles from the Louisiana border. Cool. Thanks for watching.
The swamp.
From the swamp. Yep. All right.
Ancestor Stalker Select are learning about his grandfather from you two on this live. This story is very interesting. Keep bringing forth these interesting characters that few know about. Thanks for all. Thank you from Illinois. Yeah, we're trying to talk more about people other than Daniel Boone, right? So,
yeah, that's right. That's right. That's right. And there's plenty more interesting stories to come. So,
yeah.
Right.
Whispers of the Dark says they're also Mean Green alumni. That's pretty cool. So, matter of fact, their center played at our high school here a few years ago. His brother's the center UK. Anyway, getting off topic there again. Back to the story. If you didn't hear about this, Isaac Shelby is estranged from his family. Isaac Lafayette Shelby, the grandson of Isaac Shelby. He's at the Phoenix Hotel getting ripped. And a guy sits across from him and stares him in the face. He says, "Don't stare at me. You're insulting me." He says, "I'll stare at you whenever I want." He said, "I'm going to take this tumbler and bust you upside your head," and smacks him in the face. Falls back. He thinks he reaches for a weapon. Isaac Lafayette Shelby shoots him right in the skull, right there, and kills him right there in the Phoenix Hotel.
Damn.
He gets arrested, and months go by. We go all the way to July of 1848. And we finally get to his trial, and he's defended by none other than
Henry Clay.
Yeah.
And I mean, this is not just like, Henry Clay in 1800. This is Henry Clay 1846. I mean, he's pretty much in the game. He's a pretty well-known guy at this point.
Yeah, he's been a senator for, he's been a senator, House of Representatives. He's been Speaker of the House for a long, long time. He ran for president 4 or 5 times.
Yes, I think at this time he's probably ran for at least 3. I think.
Yeah.
No, I think he runs again in 48, maybe.
This is 48.
I don't know.
Yeah, this is.
Oh, yeah, that is. That's right. You're right.
Yeah.
So yeah,
Presidential candidate. I mean, this would be like I don't want to get political on you here, but this would be like, I don't know, someone like Barack Obama or George Bush defending
your lawyer.
Somebody of a high profile name like that. He's your lawyer, and he's a pretty good lawyer.
Yeah.
Have you heard about Henry Clay's record?
Well, yeah. Well, like we said, he defended Burr. I mean, that's how he built his name. I mean, he was an awesome lawyer, a great orator, a speaker.
As a defense lawyer and a 30-year career, do you know how many trials he lost?
Oh, I'm going to say, man, I know it because I've read it, but I'm going to say like 30 maybe. Out of hundreds, though. I don't know.
0.
I don't know. 0. Wow.
Undefeated. He never lost. He's undefeated. I mean, what kind of lawyer is that? Kind of thing. He's the John Cochran of his day. If the glove don't fit, you must quit. I know you don't know that story. You're too young for that one, probably. But that's O.J. Simpson.
Yeah.
But,
I mean, I was alive when the juice got loose. I was alive.
The juice got loose. Yeah, 30 years, he's undefeated as a trial lawyer. I mean, what an amazing lawyer. It's not somebody that the average person can afford, but this is a high-profile case, massively high-profile case, somewhat of a very renowned name and things. So they go to trial. All the facts are brought forward, but the jury is not able to convict.
The old jury.
So Shelby's let off. He goes out on bail, and everybody says, "Dude, get out of here. Get out." Because the public opinion was he did this. He's a rich kid, spoiled brat, kind of thing. Who knows who else he's ticked off these few years he was estranged from the family. You need to get out of here. And he did like so many other people did during that time period is he went to Texas.
Fled to Texas.
Yeah, that time period there. This is Texas had just joined the Union, I think. There, I think they were 36 to 46. They were a republic, but many people would put above their door that GTT. Ever heard of that GTT? I'm gone to Texas.
Gone to Texas. Okay, yeah.
If you follow the migrations of our ancestors, that time period right there is mass migration to that area. So He's getting the heck out of Dodge.
Mm-hmm.
The people of the town are quite ticked off.
The people of the town that he went to, or the people of the
No,
town
the people here in
of
Lexington were
Yes,
quite
okay.
ticked off. They got off. They
Mhm.
they made a effigy of the judge, Judge Buckner Jr., and of the eight jurors, and they hung them right
Oh,
outside the courthouse there. And then they drug them over to Cheapside. If you don't know where Cheapside is, that's a famous marketplace right there in
mhm.
downtown Lexington, where tons of different types of commerce happen, including the slave trade was there. But they hung them, and then they burned them. They burned them in effigy there. So
Mhm.
the town was pretty dang gone ticked off.
Yeah. Not the actual people, not the actual
Right.
people, but
Oh
the
yeah,
effigies.
yeah. The little effigies they made, of them, So, but it was a high profile case, and the kid got off.
Yeah.
There's not a whole lot more known to the story. It's known they think that he came to visit once or twice. He was not arrested, but he eventually settled in Missouri. I think it was Dexter, Missouri, and he lived next door to a man by the name of Abner Williams. Came buddies with him. Abner died, and Lafayette Shelby married his widow.
Mhm.
Some say there might be a little bit of scandal there too,
Yeah.
because Shelby is only 40 years old. He's not an
Yeah.
old man. And the end of the story is that he's killed right there on his land by bushwhackers
Mm. Bushwhackers.
in 1859.
Mm.
So he only lives like another 11 years after the murder trial and things. So lives a very short life. Died at the age of 40. Had so much so much potential, so much opportunity, that was squandered. Carried such a powerful, wonderful name, and ends up killing a man, spending 6 months in prison, fleeing town, and becomes a small farmer and killed at the age of 40 by bushwhackers.
Yeah. Pretty wild little story, but it goes to kind of, the decision you make, man, can lead you down a rough path. And like you said, there's not as much known about him once he left, but like, you can make your assumptions. It was probably not the easiest road. Seeing that he had to flee the state, basically, because of obviously people were not happy with the verdict and those sorts of things. And when I say he fled, he didn't. Well, I mean, I guess he did flee. He left because of it. But yeah, pretty wild story. Pretty
So what do you think?
Sad ending.
Is he guilty?
Well, I mean, like, that's a tough one. I mean, is he guilty of killing him? Yes. I mean, does he use the self-defense? Is that how he gets off? I mean, because he was thinking he was, but then that kind of opens up a whole nother argument that you could use that in anything. If something happened, you could say it was self-defense in some sort of manner, I guess. But pretty crazy
Well,
story.
a lot of people like people of power to fall, or people.
That is very true. Yes.
That definitely influences the public opinion kind of thing. So I'm kind of the opinion of, he reached in his coat. There was a heated argument. They're both drunk. You know what I'm saying? Like, and it's it's never an excuse to do it, and that's what leads to stupid crap. You do stupid stuff, and you could have had ways for stupid things happen. So, I don't know.
Well,
I don't know.
An old Johnny Cash song comes to my mind. Don't take your gun to town, son. Please leave your gun at home, son.
That's right.
Don't take your gun to town, son.
That's right.
But and you're right. I mean, this is a bar. I mean, the amount of fights that happen in a bar are probably way more than people realize, and they just nobody ends up dying, so you don't find out about it. This one obviously, he shot him. He's a big profile person. It blows up out of proportion. I would about guarantee in bars and saloons across Kentucky and probably even the nation during this time, people were getting in fights and people were shooting each other and killing each other for staring at somebody. I mean, come on, that's
Right.
my biggest thing. Just staring at you, You could have just looked the other way. Or
I don't know.
tables.
Remember the duel we talked about Andy Jackson, and
It's
things
all
like
about pride, man. Pride and bravado. You got a family legacy. That's again, his family is this big known. He's got to defend his honor. So his family name.
Yeah, Sue said that Isaac Lafayette Shelby and Henry Clay were first cousins twice removed by marriage.
Well, there you go.
And Greg says controversy sells newspapers.
Oh, yeah, bingo.
Also, people glued to CNN, MSNBC.
I was just about to say, controversy gets clicks too, man.
Yeah, no doubt. Just turn it off. Just turn it off. Life's a lot happier. Invest your time with the people of the past.
So watch the Family Tree Nuts and watch Kentucky History Podcast, and that's where you need to keep your time in.
Right, it gives you much better mental health for sure. So, but yeah, man, neat little quick story. And anything else you want to say about this story before we move on?
Not really. I mean, it is a very interesting story, but like all history stories. History doesn't always repeat itself, but it does rhyme. And the stuff like this has happened plenty of times. Plenty of times somebody knows somebody. And if you flip the script just a little bit, if Isaac Lafayette Shelby isn't the first governor of Kentucky's grandson, it can be completely different.
Absolutely. Yeah. Story could have went a different way. Would have had a different lawyer and things. So who we got next week?
Cassius Clay, right? We're going to go Cassius Clay?
Like a butterfly and sting like a bee, right?
No. The line of Whitehall, man. The line of Whitehall.
The man that Muhammad Ali is named after, Cassius Clay.
Yes,
and
yes, sir.
Cousin of Henry Clay, of course. And the ambassador of Russia. And what a guy, man. What a guy.
He is a character, man. He's whew.
Really good story with shooting cannons at the townspeople and things like that. So,
well. I got another one, but we won't. Yeah, we'll save him, man. We'll save him for later. He's full of them.
Yeah, buddy. So, all right, man. Well, I guess we'll sign off for now. You want to say anything else before we take off?
Listen to the podcast. We did an episode about Civil War last Sunday. Got a few more coming out. We actually got quite a bit about the Civil War coming out here the next little month or so. So.
We have a ton of videos. Our video producer, Steady Ready, has. We've been hooking ourselves up. We've had a little lull on videos. They've helped us out we've got all new video equipment. So the videos are going to be even bigger and better that are coming up soon. So tons and tons of scripts are written. We're going to be all over the place. We're going to be firing out videos like crazy over the next few weeks. So look for that. So, all right, we'll see you next week, buddy. And. All right. Till then, man, hey, remember, Family Tree Nuts. Let our nuts find the nuts in your family tree.
At Family Tree Nuts, we make professional, historic videos all over the country and currently have videos in 25 states and even a few international. Let's face it, nobody wants to read anymore. As a matter of fact, nobody wants to even watch long videos, which is why I'm going to keep this real quick. Moving into the future, how are we going to educate the public on all the historic treasures that are found in every community? We have found the answer. Short, entertaining, and to-the-point videos with lots of shots and views that are relevant to the subject. These videos are shared on social media and are the fastest and least expensive way to educate the community on the history of your area. We have experience working with historical organizations as well as city or county tourism departments and Chamber of Commerce's to produce these videos for their use. Our clients are provided with copies of any video produced as well as online links to the videos that they can easily add to their websites. Let us document and produce videos of just a few or all the historic sites in your area. You will find our rates extremely affordable and well below the industry standard for media production. We are passionate about preserving and documenting as many historical sites as we can, and we would love to work with you. For more information, contact me directly at russ@familytreenuts.org or my personal phone at 859-314-1976. And remember, Family Tree Nuts, let our nuts find the nuts in your family tree.
Yeah.